Hello my friend and welcome to this reading. My name is Oki and today we will get a message from your higher self for you. And even I don't know what this message is about. It's a bit of a mystery and I shuffled out your main cards without looking at them. So we will find out together what this message is about, why you need to hear about it right now and what you should focus on next or what you could focus on next. And also, just before I forget, if you want to see readings to any particular theme or topic, or if you have any questions that you would like to be answered, just suggest them in the comments below and I might make a reading about that. Okay, but back to your mystery reading. So I've shuffled out these 3 little cards for you to choose from, so you can pick your group. And we have card number 1, Fish. Card number 2, Bouquet. And card number 3, Moon. So, as always, you will find the timestamps in the description box below, so I hope you enjoy your reading. Hello again, group number 1, and let's get started with your reading. So, you chose this card, Fish. And of course, I said in the intro that this is going to be a mystery reading, so this card was mainly about choosing. However, I'm also already getting some creative energies from it, some healing energies maybe, also perhaps energies of retreat. We will find out more with your first main card. And it says, good cheer, with kind heart and humor free. May good cheer rule, so mote it be. Interesting, so let's get some more cards to see what this message is actually about. The High Priestess, the Ace of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. And good cheer. So what's interesting is that this card has this figure with wings on it, and also those figures or fairies on the good cheer card have wings on them. So perhaps something about connecting to the fairy realm, or also spreading your wings. Because with this Ace of Swords, with this particular depiction of it, I'm getting that you're definitely somehow stuck perhaps in the past, or with past pain, or stuck with sort of a lifestyle or habit that you have outgrown. And I think you do want to make some changes. And with the High Priestess, perhaps live more from your intuition, live more from your inner wisdom. And also perhaps because this is a message from your higher self, connect more to your higher self, align more with your higher self, be open to receive messages from your higher self. Yeah, something feels a bit dark and a bit sad here. And of course, with this mermaid card, I didn't mention it, but what I was feeling is the mermaid shouldn't be restricted in this little cup. She should be swimming in the ocean, living in the ocean. So yeah, again, this, maybe you have outgrown something. Maybe you don't get any joy from it anymore. Maybe it feels restrictive now. But let's get some more cards to find out more. Let's ask first why you need to know this right now. Why do you need to know this right now? The working staff, support and encouragement. It also has the Rhytho rune on it. And the Rhytho rune also can have this energy of progress, moving forward, momentum, even breakthroughs even. And yes, perhaps you're choosing a new path. And with the walking stuff, I'm getting be prepared for it. Be prepared to take a new path, or perhaps your higher self and your spirit guides want to support and encourage you and help you be prepared for that new path. Let's get some more tarot cards to see what else. Page of Swords and 10 of Wands. Yeah, with the 10 of Wands, I definitely feel one cycle is ending. And I think you will be able to put down a burden, or maybe now it is time to put down a burden. Maybe it's time to put down those heavy energies that I felt before. And with the Page of Swords, start something new. Make courageous decisions is what I'm hearing. Yeah, I think you're being asked to expand your horizon, to walk into unknown territory, or to walk away from whatever this heavy burden is. Now is the time, is what I'm hearing. And your higher self really wants to uplift you and encourage you. And with the kind heart and humor free on this card, maybe also be kinder towards yourself. Go for the things that you enjoy, that will bring you joy, that will make you feel cheerful, that will allow you to leave behind this heaviness, the sense of being stuck. And I think there's more to it, and I think we will circle back to it later. But for now, I want to get some more cards on the table. So we will ask next, what should you focus on next? What should you focus on next? And we have the Pine Tree, vitality, longevity, perseverance. Very interesting. Again, I want to get some tarot cards to go with that. Okay. The Chariot, very interesting, because that has a very similar energy, I think, to the Rhytho rune and the Walking Staff card. And the Lovers. Yeah, do what you love. Connect with what you love. Align with what you love and make choices around that. And that will allow you to create this momentum to move forward. Yeah, I think it's becoming very clear now, this need for you to align with your higher self, with your inner wisdom, but also with your heart, with what your heart desires, and going after that. And perhaps you have been looking for ways to get out of this energies, but perhaps somehow you lacked inspiration or you lacked direction. And the Chariot card, it is drawn by two horses. So that sort of describes that things have to align, things have to come together, and then you will have the momentum. You will need to make a decision, and then you will have momentum. Because if you are too distracted, if you don't have a clear direction, or you don't have the clear decision and courage to go after it, then your energy will scatter. So really rein in those energies and focus on what you want. Perhaps it's also for some of you a message to focus on the positive, to focus on what you want, and not to focus on what is weighing you down or making you feel stuck. And sort of be led by inspiration, be led by passion, be led by what you dream of, rather than be pushed forward by the things that you don't want anymore. And with the pine, if you have ever looked at a pine cone closely, you will have noticed that it has this spiral pattern, spiraling up. And also, it is said that our pituitary gland, so the most important gland for what is said, or it is said that it is the most important gland for spiritual progress. So those are also connected to the pine cone. So moving up, spiraling up, getting to higher consciousness. And I love that there are 3 full moons depicted on this card. So I think that goes very well with the High Priestess card. Your intuition, your alignment to your higher self. And perhaps you have difficulty hearing the voice of your higher self. And I think sometimes people can have ideas about what it is communicating with our higher self that are sort of overthinking it or overcomplicating it. Because it doesn't have to mean that you are sort of receiving telepathic messages or sort of hearing messages. Sometimes it's very subtle. It's just sort of a feeling, an impulse. That is what your intuition sometimes feels like. You know, it's showing up in your hopes and dreams and wishes, and the things that you love, that you feel naturally drawn to. So if you feel that you are a bit disconnected from your higher self, this reading is telling you that you are actually not. That the way to connect to your higher self is by going towards the things that you want and hope for, and that are naturally drawing you forward, and receiving this inspiration. And if you don't know what it feels like to receive inspiration, this, I think, is a good key for you, this good cheer. You will feel like cheerful and lighthearted and hopeful. So those are the things perhaps to look for. Okay, but let's get some more cards to see what else you need to know about this. What else do you need to know about that? Violet Angel, Breaking Dawn. Yeah, definitely. A new day is coming. A new dawn is coming. You're shifting path. And Strange Valentine. Love is strange. I love this card. So cute. Yeah, again, going for the things that you love. Or perhaps going for the relationship that you want. And I love that it says love is strange. So maybe you feel drawn to something or someone, or you're interested in pursuing a hobby or a career that feels a bit strange or odd, or it's something that you are judging or having negative thoughts about, or that you feel like you don't understand it, you don't understand why am I so interested in that. But don't go with your thoughts on that, go with your feeling on that. Yeah, and make decisions from your heart, from your intuition. And the Violet Angel, I love that. It's clearly a message of hope. Actually, I want to read a bit from the guidebook for this card, because I really like this guidebook as well. Okay, let's see. Violet Angel. The Violet Angel speaks. There have been times recently when you felt you've lost your spark and that your physical body has been exhausted, almost as if you were born tired. It has been a long night of the soul, but now I am here to let you know that not only has the worst passed, the best is on the horizon. It is faint and it is gathering energy, but it is on its way. Soon, with the new dawn, your energy will begin to flow again, and you feel reconnected to your own internal power source once more. Your spirit will blossom and your intuition will hum. Yeah, it's mentioning the intuition again. Please awaken earlier and be ready to begin our work on this new project. Again, it's mentioning a new project, by spending time outside in nature in the early morning. So that could be a clue for you to use the energies of the early morning. Perhaps go outside and catch some sunlight, which is, again, I love that because that's also connected to the pituitary gland, right? It regulates our circadian rhythms as well, so that might allow you to sleep better, but also feel more energized during the day. So maybe that is something, or maybe it's meant more metaphorically. Maybe it's about starting each day with something positive, something that you enjoy. Perhaps catching some sunlight outside, or taking some time to slowly sip your favorite tea, or using affirmations first thing in the morning. Or maybe movement, going outside for a walk, even if it's just a short walk around the block or something like that. Just those little small moments that will shift your energy into a more positive energy. And also I love that because this figure here, they look very glamorous, I think, with this sparkling dress. So yeah, maybe enjoy yourself more. Perhaps dress up even if there isn't an occasion for it, just for fun, or get a new haircut, change something about you that perhaps will also signify to yourself that you are moving into a new phase now, because you definitely are. And I think this new phase is going to be much more positive and cheerful. And this card also, in the guidebook, they mentioned the dark night of the soul. So perhaps that is what you have been in. Perhaps you felt a bit lost. And perhaps you weren't able to step outside of it because you weren't able to hear that voice of your heart, or that voice of your intuition, or that voice of your higher self. And also I'm getting, if you feel in this in-between, where you know that you want to leave the old behind, but you can't step into the new yet, you might consider working with Hecate. And I recently did a reading with Hecate that, I don't know, I enjoyed it very much. I hope other people also enjoyed it, but that's just a side note for some of you that might resonate to work with Hecate, because she's the one who will guide us through this liminal space, through this dark night of the soul. And you are definitely being asked to move forward. Don't wait for things to happen, make them happen. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just be courageous enough to take the first steps. And of course, the first steps can be baby steps. And even before you take the first steps, the alignment is important, because if you just shift slightly to one side or the other, even before you take the first step, you will have over the long run a totally, completely different outcome, right? So it's not about getting there fast or knowing where you're going. It's about really feeling this true north, so to speak. Really using this compass of your heart, so to speak, the compass of your higher self to find your path. And of course, sometimes it's not a straight path either. Sometimes it's sort of back and forth, and sometimes when we don't know what we want yet, we just have to move away from the things that we don't want. But I think for you, if that is not available to you yet, it will be available to you soon, this feeling inside what it is that you want and where you want to go. Because the dawn is already happening. The light is already flooding in. And with the strange Valentine, I think you already received sort of a metaphorical Valentine's card, or an invitation, or a metaphorical invitation. I think there's already some opportunities or people that have showed up in your life that, if you choose them, that will move you forward on your path. Okay, but let's get one more card to see what else you need to know about this, and then, as always, I will sum up the reading in an affirmation or affirmations for you. But let's get one more card. Love potion. That's so amazing. I think there are so many synchronicities, right? So many signs, and I think that's perhaps something that you're awakening to also, to be able to see those signs and synchronicities and omens. And it doesn't have to be in a super spiritual way or psychic way. It could just be that because you're focused on the positive, because you're focused on following your dreams and wishes, you're more open to receiving those informations, those opportunities, and you're more open to embrace them and to be courageous and decisive enough to go after them. So stop thinking like one day and start thinking now, right now. I think that's important for some of you. Take action. The time is now. And you're receiving so much support and encouragement, as this card mentioned. So use it. Use it. You're ready. You just need to keep moving, or start moving even. This love potion, this blessing is coming in for you, so accept it and embrace it. Go after the things you love, yeah, and I'm starting to repeat myself, so I think now is the time to sum up this reading in affirmations for you. I allow myself to follow the compass of my heart. I listen deeply to my intuition and the messages from my higher self. I embrace the new dawn, the new path and courageously and decisively go for the things I want. I allow love, friendship, and abundance to enter my life and receive it with gratitude. Okay, those were the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let us know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time. Hello again, group number 2, and let's get started with your reading. So, of course, this is a mystery reading, but the card you chose says Bouquet. So the first thing I'm getting is something is blooming, some sort of blessing or positive energy is coming in. Yeah, okay, but let's have a look at your main card, and this says peace. Bridget, goddess, in your sacred name, a light within me, peace's flame. Yeah, beautiful. So peace, beauty. Okay, but let's have a look at what this blessing is actually about. What I said blessing, I meant message. What this message is about, but apparently it is about some sort of blessing. We have the 7 of Wands, the King of Swords, one more, and the Tower. Interesting. It's interesting that we get the Tower. Sorry, I misspoke again. So perhaps something about power, that we get the power with together with the Peace card, because the Tower can be sort of a disruptive force, a quick shift, something sort of breaking down and crumbling. But perhaps this Tower has already happened, so maybe let's leave them there. Maybe this Tower has already happened, and now it's sort of the dust is settling and you're feeling more peaceful now. There's definitely something that requires a closer look, is what I'm getting with this figure here holding the magnifying glass. Or something will become clear to you. And perhaps gaining that knowledge, gaining that insight will give you more peace of mind. Because there's something that you have been struggling with, and I think that is being resolved for you now by your higher self, or by your spirit guides, or just by the universe. And I think things are shifting for you, and perhaps even in a way where you don't have to do much yourself. This shift will come. This shift is inevitable, is what I'm hearing. I'm not sure what this shift is about right now, but I think we will get more clarity once we get more cards. So let's have a look next at why you need to know that right now. Why do you need to know that right now? And we have the watering can, asking for help, sharing burdens. Okay, interesting. And let's get some tarot cards. And I already think something is shifting here from being in this energy of struggle, perhaps also feeling the need to stand your ground, to fight against others, to put up boundaries with others. And now it is shifting towards others helping you, others sharing your burdens, others being on your team. And of course, that could also be your spirit guides, but I think it's also perhaps real people in your life that are coming in to help you. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, something is shifting, is changing. And the Hanged Man. And with the Hanged Man, I heard the wait is over. So perhaps you have been waiting for something to happen or for some opportunities to happen. Or you have been pursuing something for a very, very long time. And you've been perhaps been unable to get to where you wanted to. Or something needed to happen first for you to be able to make the best of the opportunity. And again, this sounds kind of abstract, but I think you will know what this is about. Could be a certain job opportunity that you wanted to take, or shifts in your career that you wanted to make. Could also be about your friend group or your family constellation. Some people in your life, I think, that you felt that you needed to convince of something. Or perhaps you wanted to make some changes in a group, and the group was sort of critical about your suggestions or skeptical about your ideas. But now it's turning around and they are coming to your side. And that is where you feel peace of mind. Perhaps you have a vision with this candle here also, and you really wanted to go for it, but you felt that sort of the cards were stacked against you somehow. But now with the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower, I think things are finally shifting for you. And I think you've already put in the work. You've just been waiting for the results, so to speak. And with the Hangman, again, I heard the wait is over. So those things are coming in now. Your luck is shifting now. Your karmic rewards are coming in now. And the things that don't align with your higher self anymore will drop away naturally. And I think this will sort of come in as a blessing. This will sort of naturally come to bloom, as we mentioned with the first card. However, I feel that a thing that you have to do is take a closer look at something, reflect on something, perhaps go inside and meditate on it or connect to your higher self to unlock this situation, this blessing that is coming in for you. But let's get more detail on that and ask what you should focus on right now. And we got the Leaves card, renewal, progress. Yeah, with the revival again, maybe it's something that you've been working on for a very long time, or perhaps even almost given up on before, and now there's new energy coming in that will finally allow you to make progress. Six of Cups. Four of Cups. Interesting, because I think it will turn out a little bit different than you expected. I think you have a clear vision for it, and I think your vision or your dreams or your projects, your dreams will come true and your projects will prosper and progress. But I think with those two cards in a different way than you thought. And I think that is perhaps what this magnifying glass is about. There's something that you're not seeing because you are too focused on how it should unfold rather than feeling the energies of it and sort of finding different creative ways for it to unfold that have the feeling of your vision without necessarily being exactly what you ask for. So something, about allowing things to fall into place. And again, with the Hanged Man and those two cards, I'm getting there isn't even much that you can do right now. You sort of have to wait for the blessings to come in, but they will come in. So the bad news is you can't really do anything right now. The good news is you don't have to do anything right now. All you have to do is sort of be open to receive what you asked for and be a bit flexible on how those things will come in. Don't be flexible on how they will make you feel. They will make you feel exactly how you hope for. I think you will feel peaceful. You will feel balanced and content and happy, perhaps even, and you will feel like you've succeeded with your vision, with your progress, and you will feel in harmony with whatever this group of people is that you're creating the project with. But it will look different. It will look different, and because it will look different, there's a small chance that you might actually overlook it. So keep your heart and mind and eyes open for the blessings to come in. And of course, I will give you affirmations later, but even now, the first affirmation that is coming in is, I am open to receive. I am open to receive. And perhaps you have a bit of a hard time letting go of the exact idea that you had, because it seemed so perfect in your mind. But be open for the way it will turn out to be equally perfect. Different, but equally fulfilling. Yeah, I'm getting very excited. I think this blessing that is coming in is something very exciting. And also I'm getting the sense of finally. Yeah. You've been really, I think, waiting and looking to shift those energies and to shift your luck, perhaps. And of course, the goddess Bridget is not only the goddess of peace, as it's mentioned in this card, she's also the goddess of healing. So perhaps you will have to go through a process of healing, perhaps healing your inner child, or perhaps resting your body more and receiving some sort of physical healing to be able to receive this and to be able to move on to the next phase of your life. Okay, let's get some cards to see what else you need to know about that. Oops, those came quickly. Sewer Mermaid, your sensuality is beautiful. And Shallow Grave, you miss someone. Interesting. Yeah, I think in this case, more than missing someone, perhaps you have some regret over missed opportunities, or as I mentioned before, you have a difficult time letting go of this plan. Yeah, this is bringing in a very new theme, I think, of, I'm getting a sense of sadness and regret of having missed opportunities, or I don't know, or just feeling that the universe has treated you unfairly and that you have been stuck in this uncomfortable position for too long. And similar with the sewer mermaid, and here it says your sensuality is beautiful. Maybe you have felt that you've been stuck in the sewer, that you have been stuck in a bad environment or bad surrounding life situation. Perhaps your childhood wasn't the best, or you didn't grow up in the best circumstances. That is why you will have to do some inner child healing, but that's also perhaps why you feel the universe has treated you unfairly, or why you feel that you weren't able to take on those opportunities, because there was always a sort of, because they always seem to be sort of too far away from you. Perhaps you feel very behind in life. But this is about to shift. And yeah, I'm getting again this sense of inner healing, the sense of looking at something closely. Perhaps looking at the concepts you have about yourself, looking at the pain that you're still feeling about the past, and perhaps asking Bridget or asking your higher self to help you heal those things, to help you to release those things. And actually I want to read the Sewer Mermaid, because I really love this guidebook as well. So let's see what the Sewer Mermaid says. And here it says, the Sewer Mermaid speaks. I am here to show you how to believe in yourself, that you are attractive, beautiful, and worthy of love and respect. I will show you how to see your body as a place of health, delight, and strength. And I will never die or go away, no matter what you have been told, no matter what you have told yourself, and no matter what your society has told you. Let's clean up your physical and mental acts. Let's love all aspects of the physical self. Let us not criticize and hate ourselves, no matter our size, shape, or differences. We are all unique expressions of the divine, and that truth most certainly applies to you. Let us not be ashamed anymore. Let us celebrate who we are and learn to love the differences and be grateful for all that we have, are, and will be. Yeah, very beautiful message of self-love here for you. And I think that puts a bit of a new perspective on those first cards, because it could be that the reason why you haven't been able to thrive, the reason why you haven't been able to make progress with your project, is that you have been in the wrong environment, that you've been talking to the wrong people about it, that to be able to ask for help and to find people who will share your burden, maybe you have to find new people, or you have to find a new environment. Or maybe you have to move yourself physically to a different place, to a new city perhaps even. Or if you live in the city, perhaps move to the countryside, or the other way around. Find an environment, I think, that is more suitable for you, and that will sort of allow you to shine and to be respected and your ideas to be heard. And with that, I'm hearing, don't hold on to the past. Yeah, again, this sense that some of you might have of being behind in life, it's not true, it's an illusion. And no matter how difficult your past was, no matter how difficult your path was, how much you have been hurt or even traumatized before, you can shift it around. You can shift it around, and it might require some work, or it probably most definitely will require work, and it might also require finding help, and it will definitely also require detaching from the things that have hurt you, detaching from the environment that brought you down, or the people that brought you down or criticized you or hurt you. Yeah, take a good look at that. Take a good look at that, but don't get stuck on it. Move on. Allow your higher self, or ask Bridget or your spirit guides to shine this light of peace and healing for you, and let them guide you forward out of this situation. And it is coming with the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower again. It is coming. You've been stuck long enough. I feel that you're very, very ready to move on. Okay, let's get one more card to see what else you need to know. And then after that, I will sum up the reading in affirmations for you. But let's have a look. Liquid moonlight. Yeah, even that word feels very soothing to me. Liquid moonlight, like this soft, cool, radiant energy coming towards you and sort of soothing your mind and your heart. And allowing sort of softness and darkness and this more receptive energy of the moon, rather than this sometimes harsh and bright sunlight and this sense of having to take action and pushing forward. I think now is the time for you to rest and let things unfold for you. Let the healing come in for you. Let others help you, whether it's your spirit guides or actual people. Let yourself be carried by the current of life, is what I'm hearing. Also, perhaps surrender to the flow of your own life. Even if you can't see it, yet a huge, huge blessing is coming in for you. I am very certain of that. And while you're waiting for it, spend time with cultivating self-love, self-care, self-compassion, healing your inner child. Perhaps cultivating mindfulness, doing some mindfulness exercises. Yeah, with this liquid moonlight, I think it ties it so well together, because now I can really feel this sense of peace. So that is definitely coming in for you. Yeah, very beautiful. I love this for you. Okay, but let me sum up this reading in affirmations for you. I am now ready to receive blessings, to receive inner healing, and to step into a new environment that will make me feel peaceful and loved. I open my heart and mind to the soothing energies of my higher self and my spirit guides. I am ready to look at the past and then let it go forever. I love and trust myself and surrender to the flow of my life. Okay, those were the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let us know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time. Hello again, group number 3, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, the Moon. I absolutely love this card, and I am getting that this reading might be about some sort of transformation or spiritual growth. Yeah, something very mysterious about this reading, but let's find out more. So your main card is organization, purpose, planning, efficiency now come to me so easily. That's funny. That's not at all what I expected from the Moon card. But yeah, maybe you are a very spiritual being, and maybe if you are anything like me, the spiritual world is actually more easy for you to deal with than the, let's call it, 3D world. Of course, I'm autistic and also ADHD, so yeah, organization is not always my strong suit. But anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get some more cards to see what this message is actually about. And the Queen of Pentacles flew out. Then we have the King of Swords. That's interesting because we had the same card in group number 2 at the same position. And we have the High Priestess, and that we actually had in group 1 as well. So yeah, sometimes the synchronicities are so strong that all the groups get connected messages. But yeah, you can tell I'm going on so many tangents already. I'm getting distracted. So maybe it is about focus, and that would totally make sense with this figure here holding the magnifying glass. Find something that you can focus on, sort of bring your energies together, organize yourself. That could be, I'm also getting something about decluttering, perhaps your space, perhaps your mind, perhaps your life or your habits, and really focusing in on what is important, setting priorities for what is important. And I think that will unlock for you your manifesting skills, so to speak. And again, I've talked about this before, how some people depict manifestation. It's like, oh, you just have to dream up something and then it will become true. But that is not a case. Of course, it's good to have a clear vision on things and to be precise about your hopes and dreams and goals. However, of course, then comes the work to actually get to that manifestation, or to actually get to create and build the thing in the 3D world, in your actual life. And for that, of course, you will need some planning and some decision making on the next steps. However, also with the High Priestess, doing that in alignment with your intuition, in alignment with your higher self, in alignment with your inner wisdom. And I think it's bringing those two things together for you, that this message is about. How to have a practical approach, but also perhaps a spiritual approach, or an approach guided by your higher self or by your spirit guides. Okay, let's get some more cards and see why you need to hear this message right now. Why do you need to hear this message right now? What is it that you need to know? Cup of tea, patience and reassessment. Interesting. Let's get some more cards. Nine of Swords. And Five of Wands. Okay, so I think what might be happening right now is that you're feeling somehow confused or scared, or you have some inner conflicts about how to do that, how to bring those two sides together to reach your goals. Or perhaps you are undecided about what your goals even are, or what your priorities even are. And with this Nine of Swords, I'm getting a strong sense of overwhelm. And of course, organization can help with overwhelm, to deal with overwhelm. Patience, reassessments. Yeah, I'm getting a sense that perhaps you don't feel that you have the time to take a pause, take a break. You really sort of have to quiet down a bit more, so maybe you can hear your inner voice better by quieting down. Reassessing, really having a look at what is going on and coming up with ideas how you could approach your goals better. Also, perhaps take better care of yourself. Create moments in your daily life that are just meant for rest and rejuvenation and calming down. You know, with this cup of tea, I don't know if you've ever seen that, but there are those memes of, I don't even know the exact words, but it says something along the lines of stay calm and drink tea. So whatever happens, stay calm and drink tea. And that's of course a very English or British thing to do, I guess. Again, I'm getting so distracted on tangents and side notes. Let's focus back, and yeah, I think that's what you need to do, sort of focusing in, and also with the Queen of Pentacles, grounding in the present moment, grounding in the body, because this grounding in the body will also allow you to sort of take a step back from your thoughts, or from your overthinking, or from your overwhelm. Or perhaps you have a mind that's always racing, and maybe you have so many ideas that you can't really decide which one to go for. And it always feels like everything is sort of competing for your attention. Maybe you have a lot of difficulties that you feel that you have to deal with at the same time, or you just have so many ideas that you can't decide which one to go for. And I think for you it will be important to sort of pick one thing to do first, or perhaps also, you know, make like lists, make priority lists. Break down what you want to achieve in smaller steps, those kind of things. Or perhaps make mind maps. Maybe you also would do well to get someone to coach you or help you organize, whether it's your projects or your problems or your ideas, whether it's daily tasks or habits that you want to develop, or perhaps starting a business or organizing your home even. Could be anything really. And I think you will know what it is that you need sort of help with organizing. Yeah, or maybe you could do it by yourself, but for that I think you will need to have a plan. Okay? But let's have a look next on what you should focus on, and that should be very interesting for you. Walking staff, support, encouragement. And I want to get one more card. B, community, cooperation, sweetness. Interesting with the support and the cooperation. Yeah, maybe either ask for support from your spirits guides, or more literally find support for what you need. And it doesn't always have to be like someone professional. Maybe you have a friend who's good at organizing and who could help you. Or maybe you could find someone who has like similar difficulties and you can cooperate and work on those difficulties together. I mean, if you have been diagnosed with ADHD, or you know that those things are difficult for you, you know, you're organizing your daily life, then there's also self-help groups for that. So maybe that could be something to check out if that is a situation that you're in. Or maybe there's just been some sort of a shift in your life and that is what is overwhelming. Maybe you had to move house or leave your job and find a new job, or maybe your financial situation has changed, or you have to take care of someone or something. Maybe it's other circumstances that have sort of disrupted your normal pace of life and that make it necessary for you to reorganize. Could also be. Okay, we have the Hanged Man. And the Knight of Swords. And that's interesting because that is also giving us some contradicting messages, right? The Hanged Man can stand for taking a pause, taking a step back, getting a better look at the situation, and of course that would go well with what we already talked about. But also the Knight of Swords is like quick and decisive movement forward. So maybe it's saying that you really need to take this time out to be then able to move forward with determination and swiftness. It's like this story comes to mind about sharpening your axe, right? When you're chopping wood and with a dull axe, of course, it's very difficult and takes a long time. But when you need the firewood, then also you don't really have the time to sharpen your axe because you need the firewood right now. You need the firewood right now. But this is the time to sharpen your axe, is what I'm feeling. Yeah, and now that I'm said it, I'm also feeling the energy is calming down a bit. Because the energies felt very, very scattered. Community, cooperation, sweetness. Yeah, of course, it's interesting because the bee is also an animal who sort of plans ahead. They are stocking up on the pollen and turning it into honey. So they are not the kind of animals that sort of live very much in the moment. Of course, this is maybe not the best description because animals do just what they are doing, right? So they always sort of live in the moment. But this making the honey, it takes sort of time, and it takes certain steps, and it is a certain process. Yeah, maybe getting this bigger picture could be important to you, getting this new perspective with the Hanged Man on how things fit together, on how things will unfold, on your efforts will lead you somewhere. Maybe your life feels sort of random right now, and you really want to get this bigger picture to gain this sort of grounding and stability in your life. Yeah, and I feel that there's this path ahead of you that will help you to create something more stable and grounded, and also something where you're more connected in a community, or where you have a network of friends and family to support you, or for mutual support perhaps. Because of course there's also something that you are bringing to the community. Okay, let's have a look next at what else you need to know about that. We have the Winged Seer with You See Clearly, clairvoyance. Yes, more about getting the whole picture, getting a different perspective, getting a higher perspective maybe, and getting beyond those distracting thoughts, beyond those feelings of overwhelm, beyond those inner conflict or those things competing for your attention, and sort of aligning with your inner voice, your inner wisdom, your ability to see clearly, your ability to focus. Okay, and then we also have Lady with the Bosch Egg, Ancient Wisdom. And I also want to take this card. Mildew Fairy, Clean Up Time. Yeah, again, so clear. We already talked about maybe some sort of reorganization, maybe some sort of decluttering is in order. Or did we talk about that? I can't remember, but this is actually what's coming through this. Set priorities, clean out the things that you don't need anymore. Get organized. Keep your energies clean and clear is also what I'm hearing. So some sort of mental and emotional and spiritual hygiene, where you don't drop into those difficult and dark thoughts and emotions, where instead you make the time to sip tea and calm down and support yourself in calming down your nervous system, regulating your nervous system and your emotional system, and dealing with that overwhelm just by being centered and grounded, but also by focusing your attention on the things that you want and letting those other things drop away. And with the ancient wisdom and the clairvoyance and also the high priestess, I am getting that you are a very sensitive person, perhaps also a psychic person, or you have some sort of spiritual gifts and perhaps even are able to tap into that ancient wisdom, tap into perhaps even the Akashic Chronicles. Akashic, what are they called? I don't know. Akashic Records, I think they are called. Yeah, so that's great that you have all those spiritual gifts and abilities. Or perhaps you haven't developed them yet, perhaps you just know that you are very, very sensitive and easily overwhelmed. And if you are easily overwhelmed and sensitive, it is because you have this strong connection to the higher realms, to the unseen world. And that is great, but as we spoke of in the very beginning, those things have to sort of come together with a more practical approach. with taking care of your body, taking care of your environment, taking care of perhaps even your finances or your health, making that a priority. Yeah, I feel for some of you, you're being asked to sort of come back to earth again, is what I'm hearing. And I'm sorry that I'm laughing, but it's just, I know this so well. I know this sort of getting lost in my thoughts and getting lost in my spiritual practices and sort of, yeah, sometimes forgetting that there's a whole world outside that I have to deal with also. Yeah, okay. Let's get you one more card, and then after that I will try to sum up the reading and affirmations for you in case you want to continue working with the energies of the reading. But let's get one last card first. And we have Sleeping Draught. Very interesting. I think those are sprigs of lavender, possibly. Yeah, something about calming down again. Maybe making sure that you get a good night of sleep. Maybe lavender tea or chamomile tea could be something for you to drink before you go to bed to calm down. Or maybe switch out coffee if you're drinking coffee for some herbal tea. Yeah, calming down, grounding, centering. Grounding in your body, calming your nervous system. Yeah, perhaps it is time for you to sort of learn how to regulate your nervous system and your emotions better. And there's, of course, breathing exercises and also somatic practices, moving your body. Yin yoga can be very beneficial. Or perhaps for you it's just listening to some music or creating music or creating art, something that you enjoy and that is sort of a calm activity that allows you to focus and allows you to sort of come back to the present moment. Okay, yeah, I think you're getting a picture, or I hope at least that you're getting a picture what this message is about. To me it is very clear, and I hope I have been able to express it to you as well. But yeah, let me try to sum up this reading in affirmations for you. I am now ready to combine a practical approach with a spiritual approach. I make time to take care of myself, my emotions, and my nervous system. I learn how to be calm and rested and well organized. I trust that taking a pause and stepping back to see the bigger picture will allow me to make faster progress in the future. Okay, those were the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time.